don't know if you've been following along with my other videos. I've been doing videos today, it's a Saturday, and I'm doing them and trying to break them into individual videos so that they're not so super long to watch, and you don't have to try to fast forward if you just want to learn about one area. So today I'm doing my whole face. That includes eyeshadow, mascara, brows, foundation, and lips. And so I have already done, so to start, and I'm showing also eyelid prep. That is its own video. So that is the first one I started with, and then I did my eyeshadow and mascara, and then I did one on my brows. And so now my eyes and brows are done, and I'm ready to start my face. And I'm just doing it because in that order because that's what I feel like today. Okay, so we're going to start with foundation, which I think is my favorite part. I don't know, it's just so satisfying putting it on because you see such a difference. So our faces are really three-dimensional, but with traditional makeup, they tend to look one-dimensional, and that is what is so amazing and different about our 3D foundation. It can feel a little bit overwhelming and confusing when you're first getting to use it, but I promise you, after a while, when you have gotten the hang of this and it becomes part of your routine, if you have to go back to your old makeup, you would probably find it harder, I'm guessing. Because this seems so hard when you're thinking about highlighting and contouring. Like, I was trying to do a little bit of that before I got into this makeup. I used to just use like a mineral powder and a blush. That was my foundation, that was my face, and I always looked kind of washed out. And then my daughter was giving me some of her old makeup as she started getting expensive makeup, and there was like a bronzer, and there was like, they called them highlighters, which translated over to our makeup would be what we call an illuminator, so basically the areas for glow. But I didn't know what I was doing because no one ever told me, and I felt like dumb. Like, the people who know makeup, I don't know, you just don't feel like you can ask. Like, who do you ask? I never bought anything in Sephora. It totally intimidates me in that store. And that is what is so special about our makeup system and this company. You have an artist who will work with you. I am just an everyday woman. That's why my makeup business is called Everyday Beauty, because I was not somebody who, like, I'm very natural. I think I look best natural. I think that's just part of my personality. But sometimes I just looked like I wasn't wearing anything, and as I'm getting older, like as I was younger, in my 20s, I get away with that a little bit more, and now I'm just finding it just makes me look tired without it. So, not to say that you always have to wear makeup, and just to preface this with the best way to look your best is, number one, is having good skin. And so I think good skincare is absolutely number one, because it doesn't matter how great your makeup is, if you have bad skin, it's not going to be good enough. So anyway, all that to say, when I found this makeup, it makes me feel confident. I feel like I know what I'm doing a little bit more now, and I just love how it feels. And the best part is it's cream. The best part, there's so many good parts, but what I love about it is it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, and it almost doesn't look like you're wearing anything. You just look good. It's like, okay, in my previous video I compared I did an interior design analogy. I'm going to do one more interior design analogy for you because I'm an interior decorator as well, and that is that a really well designed room, when it is decorated, when it has the right colors, and it's pulled together, and it doesn't look like a showroom, it looks like a home, but it's really beautifully done, you won't know what's good about it. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, or like I used to have clients who'd be like, well, they would want to start with picking their colors, and I'm like, no, like, we need to start with the rug or the cushion, because that's where we're going to draw the room colors from. Like, you might like this pink or this red color over here, but then that might be all you're seeing as wall. And the whole point of having your home feel wonderful isn't like you come in and you go, like, do you want, like, is the goal to have someone come into your home and go, wow, like, I really love your walls, I really love your wall color. Yeah, sometimes you do get that because you have a really fun color or something, but what you actually want is someone to walk into your space and be like, wow, I love the way your home feels. It just feels so good. It feels cozy. It feels, it's beautiful. It feels relaxing, or whatever it is that you're going for. And so to tie it back now to the face, with the face, you want to just look beautiful. Like, you want to look like you. You want to look like yourself, but you want to look like your best self. And sometimes when we have breakouts, or we have a mix of our skin, you know, different colors, and there's those things that we kind of want to, we don't want to focus on. They're a bit of a distraction. You know, but maybe we have like our good quality as our lips or our eyes or our nose or whatever. We want to enhance what we already have, and we want to look like our most beautiful version of who we really are. We don't want to cover it all up and look like someone else. I don't want to take off my face at the end of the day and not even look like myself, right? I just want to look like the best version of me. And again, that's kind of like with your homes. You shouldn't be able to put your finger on it. Like, I don't know, like it shouldn't just be like, I mean, yeah, someone might say, "Ooh, I love your lip color," or something. Or maybe they will compliment your eyeshadow. That's cool too. But sometimes we want to go a little more glam and really have it pop. But what I mean is, you just want someone to go, "Wow, you just look beautiful." And it's like, that's what you want. So anyway, I'm sorry I rambled on way too long about that. Okay, so to get started, this is for all my beginners and people who don't have anything yet. I want to tell you, this is the brush you need. It's not going to look like this. It's going to be in our new Saint branding. This is our old branding that was called mascara, and the new brush that is this brush, I've heard, is amazingly even better than this one. So you've got to get it. They said it is the brush to have if you can only have one brush for your face. This will do everything. Excuse me. So I like to start with my contour because then I can see, it's going to stand out the most, and I can see where I'm going to need to go. Okay, and I'm going to use a really dark color today called Indigo because it's my favorite. It's just so pretty, and it is one of the darker colors, but pretty much anybody can wear this unless you are the palest of the pale, then I probably wouldn't. And I like to start on my forehead, and again, we're not going precise here. Okay, slap it on. If you have a really narrow forehead, very petite, very narrow this way, you're going to want to keep that line a bit slimmer. I would say my forehead is more on the big side, not super bad, but not super narrow either. So I'm going to want to bring it down a little bit more, because what this is going to do, the whole point of contour, in case you're wondering, is that it's going to create natural shadows, and then we're going to have our main color here, and we're going to have a brightener in the center, and that creates a three-dimensional look, because our faces really are three-dimensional, and it's just so beautiful. But the difference, and there is contour in other makeup that is not our makeup, but that makeup is designed, everything's a different formula. So you put on your concealer, then you put on your foundation, then you put on your contour, and everything's sitting on top. And whatever kind of makeup it is, it also, you can feel it. After a while, it just feels like, oh, I got makeup on. And our skin moves throughout the day, and so it doesn't move with you, and so it can settle into your fine lines, especially if it's a powder and you have mature skin. With our makeup, it's cream, so it does not settle into your fine lines, and it absorbs and it hydrates, so it's actually good for your skin. How much makeup, oh, sorry, I got a little bit too much on there. See, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go with it because this makeup is totally foolproof. I forget what I was saying now. Anyway, I'm just starting here. You can go just below your cheekbone, but I like to kind of just go where I'm still kind of on the cheekbone because that's going to give me a face lift. But yeah, anyways, it's actually good for your skin because it's got clean ingredients. It's cream, so it's hydrating. Hang on, I gotta let my cat in. You wanna be in my video? Come in. Okay, but you gotta be quiet though. You gotta be quiet. Sorry. I've got another one sleeping on the chair. I'll show you. I've got this one, just off in La La Land, and I got this one. Anyway, okay. Okay. She's very, very chatty. Okay, settle in. What I was trying to say is that with the other makeup brands, their contour would be a different formula. Ours is all our highlights, which are what we call, our highlights are what we call is part of our foundation that we're putting on our face, okay? So they are like our main color, and maybe a couple shades lighter you go for a brightening. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? But ours is all, so our contours are designed to be coverage like a foundation. So that means, yeah, you can't fit on here right now, you're too fat. That means that I don't have to put, like I didn't have to put my main color on first before I put this on. This is going to cover me and it's not going to look weird. I'm only going to place my makeup where, or my other colors, I'm not going to put them on top of each other. It's going to go where these ones aren't. And then with blending it, it's all going to look like one foundation, but multi-dimensional. It's just, isn't this color pretty? Like, I know it looks a little weird right now because it's really dark and not blended. And I got these splotches probably just because I didn't put it on the brush evenly. Now, I have gone a little too far here. You want to go about to your pupil. So I'm just going to wipe it off. It's fine. I can even use my foundation color after. Another little, I just want to tell you about this product we have. This is a brush tile. When you are wanting to use the same brush for multiple things, you can just brush it off real quick. Okay, next, I'm going to just take a little bit with my finger for this next step, because I always forget if I don't do it right away. I'm just going under my lip. You can skip this step if you want. If you're a beginner, I don't want to overwhelm you. But all I'm doing, you could even use your pinky if you want to be more precise, probably. And I'm actually going to blend this right off the bat. It's just creating a bit of a shadow. Fuller, bigger lips are a sign of youth. And so to get that powderier look and just, again, that shadow, that's another natural shadow spot. The other area is the nose. I'm actually going to use my finger today for that. You do not have to do this. If you have a very narrow or petite nose, you probably don't even want to do this. But if you feel like if your nose is longer than you like, wider, whichever. And it just, even if that's not the issue, I'm not trying to say, you know, don't embrace the kind of nose you have. Again, it does kind of create another level of dimension, like that three-dimensional look. So it's another reason. It's just kind of fun. It's a little bit harder. You can also take the edge of your brush and do it this way. I find I have a harder time with that. My favorite way to do it, just so you know, is with the small end of the shadow brush. But in this video, I know people are just starting, don't have any product yet or tools, and so you may not have that. But if you are also buying eyeshadow with your first or second order somewhere in there, just so you know, this end can also do that. So another thing I love about this makeup is that you may buy this eyeshadow brush for your eyeshadow, but you can use it for contouring. You can use it for lip lining, or just contouring under here, or even lip lining. And I have an even better one, multitasker brush. If you get this one, you can use it for eyeshadow here, more of an eyeliner look here, lip liner, okay, nose contouring with either side, lipstick. So this is one I would say when you're just trying to find one brush that can do the most things, you can grab this one. It's really amazing. Okay, and this one. So back to this one. I'm going to switch to the pointy end now. Oh, I totally forgot to do my under eyes. Do I even need them today? I think I got enough sleep. I think I'm good. But I typically use this one called Mango. It's a darker highlight. And it's a darker, what I mean by darker is it's darker than my main color. And I use that for under my eyes. And Mango is really good if you have dark circles or zits. It's good for covering those up. If you have really purpley under eyes, I would recommend giving a try with Sunlit. And if you're a very pale individual and you have one of the very lightest main colors, I would advise Frenchie as a color for under your eyes, and that one is actually a lip and cheek. So some of our other colors that are lip and cheek can actually work for color correcting too. And I sort of have a little cheat sheet, depending on what's based on your face colors and your color match, that I can help you figure any of those things out. Also, just a quick one that I have off the top of my head, Aspen Contour. It is the lightest contour. Nobody really buys it for contour, but what they do buy it for is color correcting. It is great for large pores and for aging spots and any really brown spots, scars. Yeah, so Aspen. If you deal with that on a regular basis, you're going to want to invest in that. Okay, back to the foundation. Pointy color. And I'm going to go into my, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to do my main color next. And mine is Amber. Big mistake people make when they're still starting, when they're just starting, and even me, sometimes still, is putting a little too much on. So a little, you guys, goes a long way. So as you can see, I'm not going anywhere where my contour was. I'm also not going under here. Well, actually, I am going to go here a little bit. I'm going to go about here. Because this area, and here, and here, and here, and here, I'm going to use my Brightening color. And I just want to put a little bit here on the sides of my nose. So I'm just plopping it on right now. Not blending it in yet. I'm just going to wipe some of that off. Lastly, I'm going to go into my Brightening color. Sometimes I do White Peach because it is 2 shades lighter than my main color. But if I want more of a pop, I like to use Moonlit. So we have our 2 lightest shades in Saint, our Moonlit and Linen. Something I just learned. I don't have Linen actually. I have it on, I've ordered it. It's coming. I've never had it yet because it didn't come in my kit. Moonlit and Linen are like the same lightness. So they're the same degree of lightness, but Moonlit is more sheer. So Linen is more solid. So if you're using Linen as a brightener and you have very, very mature skin with, if you have mature skin with any lines or wrinkles, you want to stay away from Linen. Even if you're a lighter skin person and that would be seem like a good brightener, you're going to want to stick a little bit darker than that for your brightener because being that it's such a light color, it really shows so much texture, and that is not going to be good for you. But if you are light enough and want to try a similar look to Linen, try Moonlit because it is translucent. It's not going to show as much texture. So that's just something to try. And that would be an example if you were, say, Aura was your main, or even Amber, and you really wanted more of a contrast. And you know, normally I'd probably put you with White Peach, which is this one here. It's a little darker. Anyways, not to overwhelm you, but these are just something, if you want to come back and watch this video, then you can always refer back to that. Okay, so I've just put a little bit here. And the reason I'm doing it here and here and here is because this is where it's naturally going to be brightening. Okay, I've just learned this new tip. So if we also go right here, it's going to give you a natural lift. Okay, now I'm going to go and blend. And I'm going to start with all the lightest areas. So I'm going to go and kind of go back to my highlight areas. And I'm going to flip the brush now because I just want to kind of cover a bigger, like the areas that aren't as fine, I kind of like to use this one. And again, this brush can go in between colors. Do you see how that kind of just, not bad. Also, I kind of want to keep this area kind of defined. So just to go back with the contour, just to remind you, it's forehead, cheekbone, jawline. Okay, you'll see this is really blending, really pretty. With the contour on the nose, you may end up having to go and kind of redo it if you're not happy with, if it's not defined enough for you. Okay, so the reason I like to do the light first is because just in case I don't drag any darkness into the light areas. Okay, now I'm going to go to my forehead. And with this one, you're going to push up, really push it into your hairline because you don't want to have like a white line there. White, or if you're a person of color, obviously that would be just a lighter area, not white. Just trying to make sure I cover my bases here. I like to then jump down here because I tend to forget this area. Once I do this one and everything looks good, I forget. And then what happens is I get into my car and I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm not blended. And this one I like to push right down and bring it down into the neck. Just take off that excess contour down into your neck because this area is going to be, is usually too light. Okay. Lastly, I'm just going to lightly brush this up. I'm going to take my beauty blender now and just kind of blend all of that together. It's gotten a little dry because I did it before I started my other videos, and so anyway. but it's pretty well blended anyway. This is just a little bit, I like to use this is called our Perfector sponge, because if I have put on too much in any area, it's going to take off the excess, but it's also going to blend and just blur those lines. But like when I really want to keep some definition there with my contour so you can still kind of see it, this will just help with that. Okay, there we go. Now, then I have a few more steps for my face, but I've made this video way too long, and if you're not interested in those and you just are like wanting the highlight and contour, then you can just stop here and then you can visit those other videos when and if you want them. So that is it for highlight and contour. It does not take 20 minutes to put on your highlight and contour. I rambled on for several minutes and stopped, so just know this normally takes me 5 minutes or less to do pretty much my whole face. Probably with my eyeshadow I take my time a little bit longer picking my eyeshadow, but my whole face I do in 10 minutes or less, and half of that is my foundation, so it's really quick.